Students, in this video lecture under the chapter Neural Control and Coordination, we will discuss here about the human ear. So, by this figure, we can understand the different parts of the human ear. So, we can see here there are three colors, and each of the color is representing three parts of the human ear. So, this color is representing the external part of ear. This color is representing the middle part of ear, and this color is representing the inner part of ear. So the external part of ear is comprised of this cartilaginous structure which is called as ear pinna, and there is a canal. This canal or tube-like structure is called auditory canal. After that, middle ear is there, and middle ear is composed of a membrane, three ear ossicles or three small bones, and three bones are present inside a cavity, and that cavity is connected with a tube. That tube is called eustachian canal or eustachian tube, and again two membranes are there. So we can see here that oval window and round window. So after that, this middle portion, internal part of the ear is there. So we will discuss one by one. So this one is the ear pinna. After that, there is a canal-like structure, auditory canal. So both of these parts are called external ear. And the middle portion is composed of a cavity. Inside this cavity, there are three bones. These three bones are also called as ear ossicles, and this chamber is connected with a tube which is called as eustachian canal or eustachian tube, and in between external ear and middle ear there is a membrane. This membrane is called as tympanic membrane, and after this middle ear, internal ear is there. So we can see here the sky blue colored structure is representing the internal ear, and in between middle ear and external ear, middle ear and internal ear, there are two membranes, and both of the membranes are having different names. We can see here oval window and round window. So we can see here that a total of three membranes are there. One membrane is present between external ear and middle ear, and it is the tympanic membrane, and two membranes are there in between middle ear and internal ear, and both of the membranes are having different names. One's name is oval window and another is round window. Now we will talk about the internal ear, or we can say the structure of different parts of internal ear. So we can see here this is the main part which is called as vestibule, and this vestibule is connected with three half circular canal, and this half circular or we can say semicircular canals are attached with this vestibule, and these are present right angle to each other. It means three semicircular canals are present over the vestibule, and each of these three semicircular canals are arranged at right angle to each other, and after this vestibule there is a snail-like structure. So this snail-like structure is called cochlea. So these are the parts of the human ear. Now we'll see some details of the human ear. So as we know that human ear is having two functions. One is hearing and another is balancing. It means human ear takes part in hearing as well as body's balancing also. When we are talking about the parts of human ear, so we can see here there are a total of three parts, as I have already said: outer ear, middle ear and internal ear. So again we will see some details here, as there is a cartilaginous external part which is called as ear pinna, and there was a, we have seen that there is a canal like structure. That canal like structure is called external auditory canal or auditory canal, and these canals are having hairs and wax secreting sebaceous glands. So wax secreting sebaceous glands are also present in the auditory canal along with hair. Now we will discuss about the middle ear, structure of middle ear or different parts of the middle ear. So it contains ear ossicles. We have already talked about the ear ossicles or ear bones. So the name of these bones are malleus, incus and stapes. So these three bones or ear ossicles are arranged in a chain-like fashion, and the last bone is very important bone which is attached to the oval window of the cochlea. So we have seen where the oval window is present. So the last bone is attached with the oval window of the cochlea, and this stapes are the bones which are the smallest bone of the human body, and these three ossicles are involved in the function as to increase the transmission of sound waves. So what happens? These three ear ossicles increases the efficiency, or we can say amplitude of the sound. So it enhances the transmission of sound waves. Now, when we are talking about the structure of the inner ear, then it consists of a fluid-filled tube and sacs. So, all these structure is called labyrinth, and this labyrinth can be divided into two portions. One is bony labyrinth and another is membranous labyrinth. So we can see here membranous labyrinth is surrounded by fluid outside, and enclosed of fluid means outside of this labyrinth there is a fluid and inside also there is a fluid, but the name of these fluids are different. The outer fluid is called perilymph and internal fluid is called endolymph. And when we are talking about the eustachian tube of the middle ear, so it this canal opens into pharynx. So this eustachian canal is having very important role in hearing. So is it adjusts the sound vibration. So what happens? The extra pressure created by the uh, vibration of the tympanic membrane will be adjusted by this eustachian canal or eustachian tube, and extra pressure will be adjusted by delivering the uh, sound vibration into the pharynx. Now we can see the structure of internal ear. So by this structure, we can see the whole, we can understand the whole structure of the internal ear. So as I said, there are three semicircular canals. So we can see here one semicircular canal, another semicircular canal, and this one is the third. So all these three semicircular canals are attached with this structure, and this structure is again divided into two parts, utriculi and saculi, or utriculus or and sacculus. And I have already told that there are two portions. Outer portion is fluid with of outer portion or outer canal is filled with a fluid which is called as perilymph, and the internal tube is filled with another liquid or fluid which is called as endolymph. So we can see here the light color is representing the perilymph and dark color is representing the endolymph. After that, this is the snail like structure, and this snail like structure is called cochlea, and this one is the nerve. Nerve has been attached with the internal part of this ear. So this is the structure of the human ear, and this is the longitudinal section of the human ear. So I will zoom it so that you can see all the parts clearly. So as I told, there is a auditory canal. So this one is the auditory canal. After that, there was a membrane, and this membrane is called tympanic membrane. And these are three ear ossicles: malleus, incus, and stapes. So all these three bones are attached with each other in a chain-like fashion. After that, it is attached with oval window. We can see here, this one is the oval window, and this oval window is attached, or we can say this oval window is present between the internal ear and the middle ear. So this one is the cochlea. So we can see here the cochlea is attached with this oval window. So what happens, and we will see this structure in detail also. So what happens, this one is the auditory canal, then the tympanic membrane, then three ear ossicles. This one is the eustachian canal, and this one is the oval window, and below this round window is there, and this one is the cochlea. And very important, cochlea is the very important structure. So we can see here, this one is a tube like structure, and when this structure we were talking about as a snail like structure. So we can see here that there is a tube inside the this tube. So two types of tubes are there. So as I told, outside of the inner tube there is a liquid or fluid which is called as perilymph. So we can see here, this one is the perilymph, and inside this tube there is another fluid which is called as endolymph. And we can see here that the upper membrane, this one is the upper membrane. This upper membrane is called Reissner's membrane. We can see here this upper membrane. This upper membrane is called Reissner membrane, and the lower membrane is called basilar membrane. So we should understand this structure. So Reissner membrane is the upper part of this tube, and the lower part of this tube is called basilar membrane. And inside this tube, endolymph has been filled. We can see here, and here on the basilar membrane, we will zoom it, and we will see the detailed structure of this tube, because we need to understand. So this structure, after that we can understand how we used to listen, how the sound waves are have been captured by the receptors. So we can see here the same structure. This one is the Reissner membrane, as we have seen here. This one is the, when we are zooming this portion, then this one is the Reissner membrane, and the this one is the basilar membrane, and there is a tectorial membrane, and on the basilar membrane there are nerve fibers, or we can say the hair cells. And these nerve fibers or receptors or hair cells are attached, are making the cochlear nerve. Now we can see that this structure, the the whole of these structure, or we can say the portion present between vestibular membrane, or we can say the resinous membrane and basilar membrane, is called scala media. So we will see here there is a organ of Corti. So this portion is called organ of Corti. This portion means on the basilar membrane. An organ of Corti is the main structure which receives the sound wave, and it captures the sound wave, and through nerve it sends the signal to the brain, and our brain interprets the sound, and we use to listen the things. Now we will again see the detailed structure. So we will now we will focus on this structure only. So there is a tube. We can see here that this one is a tube. This violet colored tube. We can see here this one is the tube, and around this tube there is a liquid. This liquid is called perilymph. Okay, and inside this tube endolymph is filled. Okay, and when we will zoom it, means small structure we have zoomed here, so we can see here the above line, or we can say above membrane of this tube is called Reissner's membrane or vestibular membrane, and the lower membrane is called basilar membrane. And inside these membranes, or it makes a tube like structure, and inside this tube like structure endolymph fluid is filled, and this one is the structure which is called as tectorial membrane. So this tectorial membrane, these hair cells and this basilar membrane all together will be called as organ of Corti. And this organ of Corti is specially involved in receiving the sound waves, and it collects the sound waves and it sends the signal to the brain through this cochlear nerve. So what happens on the basis of vibration? This tectorial membrane moves on the hair cells, and these hair cells on the basis of vibration, they use to generate a potential difference, and after creating the potential membrane, it sends a signal to the brain. So when we are talking about the movement of sound waves, so we can see here that the sound waves enter inside the external ear through this auditory canal, and it hits on the tympanic membrane, and this tympanic membrane vibrates, and by the vibration of this tympanic membrane, the ear ossicles of the middle ear also vibrates, and it amplifies the vibration of the sound. And the last bone or last ear ossicle, as we know, is the stapes. It is attached with the oval window. So again, this vibration hits on the oval window, and by the vibration of this oval window, the perilymph is also vibrating. So this wave enters into the internal ear through perilymph, and when it enters inside the perilymph, then what happens? Then it also helps the movement of the tectoral membrane on the hair cells, and by the movement of the tectoral membrane on the hair cells, these hair cells will receive the signal, and it will make the signal, and through auditory nerve the uh, signal will be sent to the brain to interpret the sound. And you can see here that this vibration is helping for the movement of this tectoral membrane, and the vibration is coming out through this round window. So inside this inner ear, a vibration enters through oval window and comes out through round window. So we have seen the path of this sound. Now we will see some details about the internal ear. So as we know that the inner ear or internal ear is made up of labyrinth, and it is again divided into some important parts: cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canal, as we have discussed earlier. So we can see here that this is the inner tube and this one is the outer tube, and this outer tube is called scala vestibuli, and this upper space is filled with perilymph, as we have already discussed. And we can see here the same thing, as the above membrane or upper membrane is called Reissner's membrane, and the lower membrane is called basilar membrane. And this basilar membrane is very important membrane, because this basilar membrane is having very important structure which is called as organ of Corti. So, and we can see here that this organ of Corti is the main structure which uh, receives the sound or uh, voice. And again it is, we can see here, this the upper portion is called scala vestibuli, and the lower portion where uh, the perilymph is filled is called scala tympani. The same thing we can understand by this structure. This one is called scala media, scala vestibuli, and scala tympani. And here in scala vestibuli and scala tympani, perilymph is filled, and in scala media, endolymph is filled, and the above structure is the above membrane of the scala media is called Raynaud's membrane, and the lower is called basal basal membrane. Now we'll see some details of organ of Corti, or we can see that it is also called as hearing aid. So it is located on the basilar membrane having hair cells which acts like receptor or auditory receptor. The hair cells contain the afferent nerve fiber, a thin elastic membrane, as we have seen as the tectoral membrane is present above the hair cell. Now we will talk about the vestibular apparatus. So this vestibular apparatus, as we can see here in this structure, this one, the utriculi, saculi, and these semicircular canal, these structures are specially involved in balancing. So we will see here some details, as the vestibular apparatus is located above the cochlea. So we have already talked much about the cochlea. So above cochlea, there is a vestibular apparatus as we have discussed. So it is composed of three semicircular canals and otolith organ, or we can say uh, saculi and utriculi. So we have seen earlier is each semicircular canal lies in a different plane at a right angle to each other, and base of the canal is swollen, and it is called as ampulla, which contains the crista ampullaris, which has hair cells. Now the saculi and utricle. So saculi or saculi or utricle contains macula. So the crista and macula are the specific receptors of the vestibular apparatus responsible for the maintenance of balance of the body and posture. So I have already told that this vestibule is mainly regulating the balance of our body, and mainly, as we have seen, that organ of Corti is involved in listening, and here two types of receptors are there for balancing. One is called macula and another is called crista. Now we have already discussed the mechanism of hearing. As sound wave enters into the auditory canal and it hits the eardrum or tympanic membrane, it vibrates, and then ear ossicles vibrate, and it enhances the amplitude of uh, the sound, and oval, it hits the oval window, then it generates the wave into the lymph and induces ripple of the basilar membrane, bends the hair and press the tectorial membrane, then nerve impulse is generated, then the afferent neuron collects uh, the signal, and through auditory nerve it sends the signal to the auditory cortex of the brain, and where the voice is analyzed and recognized. So here by this figure we will understand the receptors of balancing. So we can see here that these are the semicircular canal. This one is the vestibular apparatus, and here we will not talk about this cochlear structure because it is involved in hearing. So here we will talk about the balancing only. Now we can see here the both the structures. So here this structure is called crista and this structure is called macula. So this crista and macula is involved in balancing. Now we can see here that this uh, crista is present here in ampulla of the semicircular canal. However, it is very important to notice that the crista is present in ampulla of the semicircular canal. However, the macula is present in seculi and utriculi. So again, the balancing can be divided into two parts. So there are two types of balancing things. One is the static balance and another is the uh, the balancing while when we are moving. So this semicircular canal is mainly designed for the balancing of the body when we are in movement, and we can say that this crista are the we can say the main thing which is present in the ampulla of the semicircular canal, which helps us in our body balancing when we are in movement. And when we are in static position, then this uh, macula is involved, and this macula is present in utriculi and seculi. So in another word we can say that the semicircular canal is mainly involved in our body's balancing when we are in movement or when we are in moving condition, and when we are in static condition, then the utriculi and seculi is involved. Thank you.